Hi, welcome to this channel on magnetic energy, technology, principles, applications. This video is about electricity and how it relates to extinction for humanity. This is highly unconventional information. And as if you've seen any of these videos, you know that we've been given a lot of information going all the way back to the 80s. And a lot of it centered around how close humanity is coming to an extinction level event or a series of events, and that electricity is closely connected to the extinction of the human race, which is partly why this whole timetable exists, and that electricity has to be phased out eventually. We're just at, every little percentage of what's happening is like hugely important right now because we're at so close to tipping points and extinction ratios, as I've talked about. And the idea that electricity is the primary cause of ozone depletion, and when we get past a certain point of ozone depletion, it's impossible for the ozone layer to replenish. And that's just one of the problems with electricity, and it just goes on and on. And there are things that we've been told that have not come true. So let me just say that. Now, obviously, we have hundreds of examples of the accuracy of the information. This particular message, though, was like pounded into us basically over and over, that electricity is like so bad for the planet, for humanity, for life on the planet and beyond. And then, of course, in the other dimensional realms and the quantum realm and everything, that it has massive, massive problems. And lately, with AI and crypto just becoming more and more pronounced and more developed, they are making just really significant contributions to the global energy consumption and the amount of electricity that's being generated on our planet. And so at a time when things are really critical, all of a sudden humanity has become obsessed with two new things, AI and crypto. And, there's other things, but those two things in particular are leading just to a tremendous amount of electrical generation and exacerbating a problem that is already here. And I don't know, like, as far as like the timetable goes, how much that's going to impact the timetable that we are in right now, and like what's going to happen as far as like a pole shift goes in the ascension process. And if we're right around the corner, we're basically at the dawn of the ascension process, as far as I know. And the thing is that's so interesting about electricity is it's such an addicting thing, but the way we're generating it right now, it really confines us to the conventional lies, or as conventional scientists would say, the laws of physics. It really is confined to those processes. And so when you compare, and I did in a video comparing natural intelligence to artificial intelligence, but for now though, the idea that electricity is required to generate AI and to generate AI responses and everything. You cannot compare the universal network that we naturally tap into when we are gaining like knowledge and we are like producing ideas and creativity. The network that we tap into, if you could measure it energetically in terms of like the amount of energy that's contained in the universal network that we automatically tap into as natural beings, it's nearly an infinite level of energy. It's beyond anything that could even be produced by conventional means. And so here's the thing. In order to get AI even up to our level of what we tap into would require way too much energy to even be possible to even handle that process, if the energy is being produced the way we produce it right now. It's kind of like saying, like, you want to have just conventional technology to produce like thrust on a rocket or a spaceship and try to bring that vehicle up to the speed of light. It's not possible using conventional thrust and using conventional fuel. You will run into some pretty big laws or lies of physics, and it's based on a whole paradigm that is just completely wrong. So when science embraces, and they already do it in top secret labs and private labs all over the world, they completely embrace the etheric model. When you embrace the etheric model, you enter into an infinite amount of energy. You enter into an infinite amount of, and it may not be electricity, but it's better than electricity. But you have an infinite amount of energy coming through the etheric model and through the etheric realms. And so that's the difference, okay? That's why space travel can go far, far beyond the speed of light. That's why we can access an infinite amount of energy and an infinite network throughout space, throughout time, just in our thoughts, because we are natural beings. That's why we can access all of that, because we are working on a different model. We're working on the model that actually runs the universe, an etheric interdimensional model. And that's what humanity must transition into so that we can start tapping an infinite universal network of energy that allows for, like, the anti-gravity stuff, the faster than light travel, the infinite amount of knowledge. If you were to try to get the higher and higher you want to go in AI in terms of accuracy of your answers, the more energy is required to do that. If you wanted to get up to 100% accurate, or even just tapping into the same network that we tap into naturally all the time, but you were trying to use electricity, it would require way more electricity than we can even produce on this planet. It's not even possible. And the more we are obsessed with AI and crypto and electricity and technology that's dependent on electricity, the more electricity we generate using old methods and using destructive methods that are horrible for the ionosphere, for the ozone layer, and etc. And the closer and closer we are pushing to extinction level events. So it's really important for us, not that I'm saying stop using electricity and stop using AI, because it's not, at this point, it doesn't matter. It's going to take a global revolution, a global shift, and the beings that are watching very, very closely around this planet and that are orchestrating events, and there are countless UFOs all over, and they're near the electrical power plants. They monitor everything. They know the exact, precise, the true numbers of ozone particles, of what's happening in the ionosphere. They know the true exchange rates of energy that are happening on our planet, off our planet, etherically, what's coming into our solar system, what's leaving our solar system. They've got it all down to the the infinite level, basically. And so they know what has to take place. They know what needs to be done. The changes that are coming are 100% necessary for the survival of life on this planet, especially surface life. And so don't be shocked if things at some point take a radical turn, because the timing might be getting pushed even more severely because of new developments like AI and crypto and other things that are just really pushing the electrical production level around the world. And so please send in any questions and comments that you had. But I had to put this video out there because it's literally one of the main messages that we received over and over. And if there's any truth to all of the information that we've been given, and the running units, and the government has this information, they know what everything I'm saying right here. There are certain departments in the government and in governments around the world that know every single thing I'm saying here is true. And they know that the technology has been proven with revelation and with revelatory information that this free energy technology that it works and that it's proven. And they also know that along with all of that information that we and many others were given about how this technology is developed and how it works, along with that information, we were given from the same exact sources that electricity is the primary cause of ozone depletion and many other problems on this planet, and it will lead to extinction for the human race if it doesn't stop. And they know that as well. And I want to make that very clear that they know this information. There are certain individuals and certain departments and labs that know exactly what I'm talking about and how important it is for electricity to stop relatively soon in the near future, because we're getting dangerously close to extinction ratio level events. And so I just had to put that out there. You can just send in any questions and comments that you have. And I know the people that need to see this video are going to see it. And hopefully it will just let them know that there's a lot going on and that certain changes are going to be quite dramatic. And so I will see you again next time.